Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Shilda Ismail, and we are currently live from Melbourne, Australia for World Halal Business Conference. And I am today delightful to have another person that I'm going to interview, and he's just finished his session. And we're going to talk about halal in digitalization. And we are here with Zuheidy, CEO of Moevd Group Sdn Berhad. Thank you for being with here in this interview, Encik Zumy. Okay, in the discussion just now, you mentioned with regards to B2B single platform database. Why is it important? And are we looking forward to have a single platform B2B just like Alibaba? What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, thank you, Shilda. Again, at the end of the day, previously we don't have data,
Yeah.
especially on the halal data set.
All right.
I mean to say the manufacturer, the suppliers, and so on. But now, with HIP, HDC already provided
Yeah.
all those information in the platform. So the next steps will be how we utilize this information, how we can utilize this data,
Yeah.
and then so how we monetize this data
Yeah.
from the perspective of the suppliers and also from the demand perspective.
Do you see the potential of it?
Definitely, of course. So this is how Alibaba did last time.
Right.
They are collecting information about the suppliers, the services, and so on. They
Yeah.
publish in the web. Then everybody across the world can have this sort of information and can buy online.
Yeah.
So now is it about time? We have collected the data. HTC already collected the data. We need to have one single halal platform which can be used uh, as a information as well as a seller platform.
Yeah.
Why is it required? At the end of the day, is we're talking about in the industry, halal industry itself.
Yeah.
To track the ingredients, to track the source, all is there. Previously, the
Scattered, you
industry
were
is
mentioning.
scattered
Yes.
everywhere. You can have the data from Jakim, you can have the data from any other
HDC
HGC and so on.
and
But
yeah.
now in one single platform. It's not only Jakim, it's all across the SB.
Right.
The CB.
CBs,
CB,
yes.
the certified
Yeah.
providers.
Provider. Yeah.
So this is my thought that it's a beautiful set of data.
Yeah. And then we
So
have to take this opportunity and advantage at this point of time.
yes, exactly.
Yes, and it's coming from Malaysia.
Yeah.
All right.
So Malaysia boleh.
Okay, Malaysia boleh. Okay, so we're talking about Malaysia boleh. We also speak on digital. That is on paper, but reality is you mentioned just now there's actually a gap in the processes of digitalization. Let's say, the programmer says differently, the developer says differently, and then the content marketer says differently, and then the execution will be, outcome will be different. Just to be, okay, right? And then what do you think about that? And why you say that?
Okay. When you talk digital, everyone talking about digital
Yes.
without actually further understanding what is digital all about.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, digital, everything under the sun can be digitalized.
Yeah.
Anything. But the key point here is between the developers and the user.
Right.
If there is no right requirement, understanding the requirement is a critical part. Most of the digital program, digitalization projects
Yeah.
might fall because of the lack of understanding between the requirement and the development side.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a gap there.
Yeah.
So from the demand and supply perspective, so we maybe talk about supply and demand
Yeah.
on in this particular digitalization. So the supply is the developer. When we talk about developer, is the system developer, right? When we talk about demand, actually is the user itself within the organization, either within or the consumer itself. So this addressing the gap is important.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, this gap, much of the organization doesn't address it correctly.
Yeah.
So as of startup also, the same issues. So most of startup try to address the demand, but forget about supply. As I mentioned earlier about the supply of the peoples and so on. It's not only supply of in terms of the goods and services, but in terms of the resources as well. So this is the one of the key important factor when people want to go digital. this set of information they need to have also.
Yeah. I tend to agree to that, and reason being is we need to have the same page, like you mentioned, from end to end. Yeah.
And
All right. Moving on. I was talking about moving on. So tell me more about Moevd. It's an apps, right? So
yeah,
and what does it do?
okay, Move actually we are a startup. We is a lifestyle service apps.
Right.
So what we did is we offering more on demand services, sort of e-hailings. We have food delivery services. But this startup is quite recently. But however, actually we are taking over from previous startup. It's already fall because of pandemic. So we are post-pandemic startup. So we also have services like we're going to launch our services on Umrah
Okay.
packages. So these Umrah packages actually we are consolidating all those agencies under Persatuan Haji Umrah Malaysia
Okay.
uh, bec- in one single platform. So those package within the agencies will can be booked using our
I
application.
see.
Number one. Secondly, because of the pandemic, some of the agencies closing down their branches, they're cutting down their manpower, their resources. So this is will be another way to help them
Mhm.
to rebuild back their business.
Yes.
So they do not need to have engage to get new branches, new people, new staff, but they engage us. Then we do all this digital marketing in our single platform. And because of the rising of the Generation Z and so on, new generation, I mean, age from 30 to 40, this is another advantage to us on when we talk about online on-demand services. So these we provide that sort of services not only to the end user but actually the intermediaries users. For
Yeah.
example, the mother want to go for Hajj or
Hajj.
Umrah,
Hajj. Okay.
then the daughters or their son or the kids can purchase that package in one particular single platform. So
Yeah.
they do not need to go each and every
Searching for,
single for these
yes, yes.
agencies, but all they can search in our application.
Yeah.
So we become pilgrim single platform providers.
Wow. Okay. All right. So the name is
EVD move.
Moevd. So those out there, start downloading Moevd. It's already in iOS and also in I.
Google iOS and Google.
Sorry,
Google
iOS
Play.
and in
Yeah.
Google Play. Sorry. Okay, so download Moevd for you to enjoy the services that provided by Moevd Group. Okay, that's all we have live here in World Halal Business Conference together with Encik Zumy. And that's all from me here for the live interviews on ground. Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow for day 2 for World Halal Business Conference Australia. And for that, I thank you, Zumy, and also the participant over here. And with that, Assalamualaikum. Thank you.